Hey, 6th grade, this is lesson 9, day 2, and we are going to be adding decimals out to the thousandths place. So make sure your book is on page 94 and you're with me. If you are, let's get started. It says, we're going to read this problem right here. It says, Maura is going on a plane. She can't have a carry-on backpack that weighs more than 10 pounds. All right, so it says she weighed the items she wants to pack on a sensitive scale. She has a book that weighs 5 and 142 thousandths pounds. Her jacket weighs 3 and 6/10 pounds, and the backpack itself weighs 1 and 28 hundredths pounds. What is the total weight of these items? Hopefully for Maura, it will be under 10 pounds. Now, what we're going to do below is we are going to show you 3 strategies that you can use to help find your answer. So I'm going to go over these strategies, and you just have to follow along. You don't have to write anything here unless you want to take some kind of notes. So the first thing is you can estimate it. So follow along here. It says you can round each decimal fraction up or down and then add them together in your head. For example, 5.142 is close to 5. Okay? 3.6 is close to 4. And 1.28 is close to 1. So you would then be able to add those numbers up in your head to get it, see if you're close to that 10-pound limit. Okay? Now, to picture it, you could do a place value chart. So ones is your whole numbers. You've got your tenths, your hundredths, and your thousandths. So in this one, what you would do is take first number. Remember, we have 5.142, and you'd put 5 ones, 0.142. Now the second one, remember the jacket weighs 3 and 6/10 pounds, so you'd have 3 and 6/10, but you could fill in zeros in the hundredths and thousandths. And then in the third one, the backpack is 1 and 28 hundredths pounds, so 1.28, fill in your 0. So if you like doing a place value table, you're definitely able to add up your problem that way. And the last section, model, it says use the place value chart to line up your decimal points. So what I'm going to do is write my problem. So I have 5.142 plus 3.6 plus 1.28, and then I'll switch to red here. I would fill in zeros to help keep my place value places lined up. All right, so there are your 3 strategies to help you find your sum, which you're going to do on the next page. So now, let's move on to page 95. So here is your job first. Your job is going to be, we're going to break this into chunks. I want you to do 2, 3, and 4 on your own. So pause the video, do those 3 problems. As soon as you're done, restart it. If you absolutely get stuck, yes, you can watch the problem in the video and do it with the video. But I'd rather you try it first. Okay, go. All right, so let's go through these and see what you have. So 2 says, look at the estimated on the previous page. What is an estimate of the total weight? Explain your reasoning. Now an estimate, if you had, remember it was 5 plus 4 plus 1 is 10. Now explain your reasoning. I would just say I rounded each item to the nearest whole number. And added. Now, the estimate is a great thing to see if you're close. So remember in the previous problem, Maura has to have items that weigh less than 10 pounds. Now the estimate tells us that her items are close to 10 pounds, but it doesn't tell us if they're going to be a little bit over 10 pounds or a little bit under 10 pounds. We just know they're close. All right, so now let's go to problem 3. How does the place value chart help you add your decimals? Now you can have anything you want in this spot. I'm just going to say the place value chart, I'll say it helps me keep my place value lined up. Now, you could have anything there, and all I meant is the chart gives you a nice spot to put all of your digits in the right spot, and it keeps them nice, neat, and organized. Now, will I ever draw a place value chart to add? Probably not. But if it was drawn for me, I don't mind using it because it does keep them lined up. And 4 says, how can you add decimals without a place value chart to make sure you are adding the same place values? Now, whenever I do that is you should keep your decimals lined up. That's the key. If you keep your decimals lined up, fill in empty spots with zeros, you will be able to do it. Okay, now you can pause and change any answers if you need to, but remember, a lot of these were just your own thoughts. Just make sure you have them answered with your own thoughts. Now, your next job is going to be to do 5, 6, and 7 on your own. So pause the video, do those 3 problems, restart it when you're done. Go. All right, so now let's see what you had. For number 5, it says find the sum. Explain how you know that your answer is reasonable. So notice they have it all set up with lined up just like it was on the previous page. So I'm going to add them up. I get 2 here. 8 and 4 is 12. Write the 2, carry the 1. Then I add up 2 plus 6 is 8. 9, 10. Write the 0. Don't forget your decimal. Carry the 1. So I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that's the answer you should have. You should have 10 and 22 thousandths. Now, how do you know your answer is reasonable? Well, it's really close to our estimate. Remember when we estimated and got 10? That's how I know my answer is reasonable. Now, it doesn't mean it's right. I could have made a mistake, but it's at least a reasonable answer. So I'm going to write that here. My answer is reasonable because it is close to my estimate of 10. All right, so remember, you can pause and make corrections if you need to. Now 6 says, does Mara's backpack weigh less than 10 pounds? Unfortunately for Mara, no. Her backpack is a little bit heavier than 10 pounds. Okay, now last, explain how to add decimals to the thousandths. So, I would say, line up your decimals. Use zeros for empty places, or empty spaces. Then add like you normally do. Okay? Now you could have it something different there. You don't have to have my exact answers. Now, as we go down here, 8 says, or for the directions for try, it says use what you just learned to solve these problems. Show your work on a separate sheet of paper. Now, if you have enough room somewhere in your book, I'm okay if you show it in your book, but it might be easier with a separate sheet of paper. Now, we're going to do 8 and 9 one at a time. So your job is to read number 8 on your own and solve it. And as soon as you're done, start the video to see if you were correct. All right. Pause the video. Do number 8 only. Go. All right. So 8 says, Aaron's family has several gold items they want to melt down to make a gold bar. Man, they must have some money if they could do that. There is a spoon that weighs 124 and 414 thousandths grams, a broken necklace that weighs 108 and 86 hundredths grams, and an earring that weighs 15 and 5/10 grams. How much is the total weight of the gold? Now, I'm going to do a little estimating first. first, this 124.414 is about 125. 108 is about 110. And 15.5 is about 15 or 16. So I'm going to add those up mentally. So 125 plus 110 is 235. 245, 250. So altogether, it's about 250 grams. Now, I'm going to find the exact answer. And if it's close to 250, I at least know my answer is reasonable, even if I made a mistake. So let me start by lining things up. So I have 124.414 and 108.86. I'm going to fill in a 0 underneath the 4. And 15.5, oops, I almost put my 15 in the wrong spot. So 15 goes here, 0.5, and then I'm going to fill in 2 zeros there, and I'm going to fill in a 0 there, just because I like to. All right, now check your problem, because if your digits aren't lined up like this, you're going to get the wrong answer, and you could always make your correction and pause the video. If your problem looks lined up like this, then continue watching. So I add up my thousandths place and I get 4. My tenths place, or my hundredths place, and I get 7. Now my tenths place, I have 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 plus 5 is 17. So I write my 7, carry my 1. Now I have 8, 12 plus the 1 is 13, plus the 5 is 18. Carry the 1. 1, 3, 4. 1, 2. And notice my answer is close to 250, so I know it's reasonable. All right, so that is the answer, and the unit is grams. All right, if you did not get that, I want you to pause the video and make your correction now before we go on to the next problem. All right, if you're all good, let's go on, and we're going to do problem 9. Okay, so number 9's ready. Your job, pause the video, do 9 completely on your own, restart the video when you're done. Go. All right, here's what it says. It says, Nikki is trying to drink 2.5 liters of water a day. She drank 0.878 liters after breakfast, 1.2 liters after lunch, and 0.75 liters before dinner. How much did she drink all together? So what I'm going to do is estimate first. So 0.878, that's about a liter. It's a little less. 1.2 liters is also about a liter. And 0.75 is between half and a liter. So you could say maybe that's about a liter, or it's about half a liter. So altogether I have about, if I add those up, that's 3 liters, or about half a liter, or 2.5 liters, depending on what I rounded 0.75 to. So that is about what Nikki's trying to drink. So let's find out the exact answer. So I'm going to do 0.878 plus 0.75, add my 0, plus 1.2, add 2 zeros. Okay, so check and see if your addition problem is at least lined up correctly. If it's not, pause the video and fix it before you watch the rest. If you are lined up, let's continue. So let's start with the thousandths place. That's 8. Let's go to the hundredths place. 7 and 5 is 12. Write the 2, carry the 1. Now, when we go here, I'm going to add up the 8 and the 2 to make a 10. 10 and 7 is 17, and 1 is 18. Write the 8, carry the 1, and I have 2. So my exact answer is 2.828 liters. So I guess Nikki was successful. She was trying to drink 2.5 liters, and she drank a little bit more than 2.5 liters of water. All right, so if you made any mistakes, remember, you can go back and watch any problem again on the video. Make sure you fix them if you are done with the video. Other than that, guess what? You're done with me. Thanks for watching.